Clean, safe drinking water is something everyone should have access to. Did you know that 30% of Idahoans have made private well water their primary source of drinking water? And due to insufficient water testing, many may be exposed to groundwater contaminants that pose health risks.
The Environmental Health Program would like to guide you through the simple process of taking water samples from your home so you can make informed decisions about whether to consume the water or if treatment is necessary. This video focuses on private groundwater well testing. The testing process for a home on municipal water systems is the same, and contaminants of concern are also the same. Before additional sampling is conducted on a municipal system, you should contact the water supplier first.
You should know that private well owners are responsible for the safety of their water. While your water may appear safe, harmful levels of contaminants occur at such low concentrations that they often cannot be tasted, seen, or smelled. This means regular testing and maintenance are necessary to protect the health of your family.
In this video, we will cover the importance of testing your water, how to take a water sample, and next steps once you know your well test results. In addition to a regular water testing schedule, if your water changes in smell, taste, feel, or looks different, you should have the water tested and your well inspected.
A variety of contaminants, both naturally occurring and human-caused, can be found in groundwater. Depending on the contaminant and the concentration, there can be short and long-term health and developmental effects. Testing your drinking water is the only way to know what's in your water. Once you know what's in your water, you can take steps to learning what's causing the contamination and determine the best treatment and maintenance options.
Key contaminants that every well owner should look for are nitrates and total coliform bacteria. Frequent testing for contaminants is important because a change could indicate an issue with the well, a new source of contamination, or a change in the contamination. It is recommended you test your well every year for nitrates and total coliform bacteria, and more often if you suspect a problem. Water should also be tested anytime your well undergoes maintenance, there is a significant flooding, or a major storm event. It's recommended that you test for additional contaminants such as, but not limited to, arsenic, fluoride, selenium, uranium, and manganese every 3 to 5 years.
Fluoride at the optimal level of 0.7 milligrams per liter to 1.0 milligrams per liter in drinking water can prevent cavities and tooth decay. Fluoride in excessive of 4.0 milligrams per liter can be hazardous. For more information on these contaminants, please visit the Idaho Environmental Health Program website.
We also recommend you test for lead and copper. Please watch our video on lead and copper to learn more. Now, we'll shift gears and talk about sampling steps.
Step 1. Contact your local analytical laboratory for sampling bottles and instructions. A list and map of the laboratories can be found on the Idaho Environmental Health website. When you contact the lab, let them know what you want to test for. The lab will walk you through the cost, how to get the sample bottles, and include instructions on how to collect and return your sample. Once you have the sample bottles, be sure to collect and return the water sample using the laboratory's instructions. Pay attention to instructions on when to collect the sample and whether the sample needs to be on ice or refrigerated prior to returning to the lab. If you're mailing your samples to the laboratory, check with your local post office for when the mail is sent out. This will play a crucial role in making sure your sample arrives at the lab in the time frame required. Your local public health department will often mail out your water sample for you. Make sure you call ahead and ask what the lab pickup times are.
Step 2. Determining the proper location to take your sample. Avoid taking your sample from a faucet that swivels or has an aerator. Bacteria can collect in these areas and change the results of the test. An outside faucet or the bathtub is a great location for sampling. If you plan on using an outside faucet, make sure you are not sampling from a hose. A hose is contaminated and will contaminate your water sample.
Step 3. Prepare to flush the lines. Make sure you turn the bypass valve to the off position on your hot water heater and water softener. Turn the cold water on at the sampling location so that it flows without splashing, and then let it run for a good 3 to 5 minutes. This will flush the pipes in the house and allow a fresh draw of water that is coming directly from the well. Several of the following steps can be completed while waiting for the water line to flush out.
Step 4. Fill out the label required on the sample bottle prior to filling the bottle with water. Use a non-smearing pen on the label. This will ensure that the information remains readable if the label gets wet.
Step 5. Wash your hands to avoid contaminating your samples.
Step 6. When you are ready, fill your sample bottle with water. You want to collect a sample without overfilling or splashing water. Never rinse a sample bottle from the lab. Sample bottles provided are ready for water collection. Reusing or rinsing a sample bottle may give a false sample result. Take the seal off the container and remove the cap. It is very important you do not touch the rim of the container to the faucet. And just as important, do not set the lid down or touch the inside of the lid to anything while sampling, especially your fingers. Fill the bottle to the fill line with water and immediately screw on the cap tightly.
Step 7. Preparing your sample for shipping and delivery. Bacteria grow in warm temperatures, and we want to know what's in your water at the time of sampling, not what grew after the sample was taken. So keep your sample bottles cool until ready to mail or drop off at the lab.
Step 8. Fill out the chain of custody lab submittal form that must accompany your sample bottle to the lab.
Step 9. Deliver or ship samples to the lab right away to ensure holding times are met. Holding times start at the time sample collection and end at the time a sample is analyzed by the lab. The sample must be submitted within 30 hours of sample collection.
Let's go over the steps one more time. Steps to remember: 1. Run water for 3 to 5 minutes and always collect cold water. 2. Water flow should be calm and smooth throughout the flushing and during sample collection. 3. Wash your hands. 4. Do not rinse or reuse bottles. 5. Open the bottle and hold the cap by the edges with the other hand. 6. Fill the sample bottle to the line as instructed by the lab. 7. Cap the bottle immediately. 8. Place the sample into a cooler with ice for delivery or shipping. Do not freeze. 9. Samples must be analyzed within 30 hours of taking the sample or as indicated by the lab. Only take a sample when you have time to get it delivered to the lab.
You've received your lab results. Now what? If you have questions about your lab report, what the results mean, or what to do, contact the Idaho Environmental Health Program and visit the website. You can also contact the lab that provided you with your test results. The Environmental Health Program is prepared to help you understand the test results and steps you can take to better protect your household. What if your results come back higher than recommended, or you find out you have an unsafe level of a contaminant? Don't panic. There are several things you can do to protect everyone who's drinking the water. The action you take will depend on which indicator or contaminant is at an unsafe level. There are several things you can do to protect everyone who drinks the water.
Visit our water quality/well testing webpage. You can find information on the types of actions you can take for water quality indicators and contaminants tested.
Thank you for playing an important role in protecting yourself and those in your care by testing your well water. If you have any questions or are unsure about the next steps, please contact us. We are here to help.